Want to retire early? Here's how. Hi, it's me. This is my channel. And here are 5 steps on how to retire early. Step number 1, figure out what your retirement looks like. What does that look like for you? For some people, they want to retire early and travel the world. They want to see all of the sights, go to the exotic places. Other people just want to retire early and spend time with family, grandkids, things like that. It could also be retiring early and starting your own business, or going back to school and getting another degree. Whatever it is, figure out what it is that you want to do. If it's traveling, start looking at maps and start looking at the world and see where you want to go. Start making a list of places that you'd like to visit. Or if it's starting a business, start thinking about what you would like to do. Write down everything that you want to do. Get very detailed. Write down all of the things that you've always wanted to do. Then start prioritizing those. Rank them in order of importance. And then start checking them off. As you go through your list and you check them off, you have to be able to say yes to these things. You have to be excited about these things because you're going to need that motivation when times get tough. You're not going to have a job anymore. So you have to be able to stay motivated. So having those fun things to look forward to is going to help you. The next step is to put together a rough budget of how much your retirement is going to cost. And this could be monthly or yearly. But again, you want to get very detailed here. You want to know approximately how much your retirement is going to cost. And that way you can save up enough money. So you have to sit down and make a list of all of your expenses. List them out and then prioritize them. Again, you're going to have to rank them in order of importance, then start checking them off. As you go through your list and you check them off, again, you have to be able to say yes to these things. You have to be excited about these things because you want to make sure that you're actually doing this. You're actually retiring. You want to be able to do all the things that you've always wanted to do. After you've done that, add up all of your expenses. Now you have a rough idea of how much your retirement's going to cost. If you want to travel, look at airfare prices. Look at hotel prices. How much does it cost to rent a car? How much does it cost to eat out? How much does it cost to go on excursions? You really want to get into the details here. And then once you have that number, multiply it by the number of months or years that you plan on being retired. So let's say you plan on being retired for 20 years. Multiply that number by 20. That will give you a good idea of how much you need to retire. Or if you plan on being retired for 10 years, multiply it by 10. Again, you want to get as close to that actual number as possible. The more accurate you are, the better off you're going to be. The third step is to calculate how much income you'll need. You may not need any income at all if you have enough savings. If you're planning on working part-time, calculate how much you can earn from working part-time. Also, figure out how much you can earn from Social Security. There are many different ways to calculate your Social Security benefits. You can go online, and there's different calculators that you can use to estimate what your Social Security will be. Or you can call Social Security directly, and they can walk you through it as well. There's also an average retirement age. In order to get your full Social Security benefits, you have to wait until that age. But most people don't know that you can actually claim Social Security early. There are penalties to claiming early, but at least you can get something coming in. So you want to look at all of your options. Do you have any pensions coming in? Any rental property? Any other investments? Make a list of everything that you have and calculate how much income you'll need. Again, write down all of the things that you've always wanted to do, and then start prioritizing them. Again, you're going to have to rank them in order of importance, and then start checking them off. As you go through your list and you check them off again, you have to be able to say yes to these things. You have to be excited about these things because you want to make sure that you're actually doing this. You're actually retiring. You want to be able to do all of the things that you've always wanted to do. Now, after you've done that, add up all of your expenses. Now you have a rough idea of how much your retirement's going to cost. Step 4 is to figure out how much you're currently saving. How much money do you have set aside for retirement? How much do you put away every month? Is your employer matching your 401k contributions? How much money are you putting away? How much are you investing? Are you investing in mutual funds? Are you investing in stocks? Are you investing in real estate? Figure out what you're investing in and figure out how much you're investing. Once you have that number, multiply it by the number of years that you have until retirement. So let's say you have 10 years until retirement and you're investing $100,000 a year. Let's multiply that number by 10. That will give you a good idea of how much you have invested in 10 years. Or if you have 20 years until retirement, multiply that number by 20. Again, You want to get as close to that actual number as possible. The more accurate you are, the better off you're going to be. The fifth step is to determine how much you need to save in order to meet your goals. Now that you know how much you're currently saving, subtract that number from the number that you need to save. Let us say you need to save $1 million and you're only saving $10,000 a year. Subtract $10,000 from $1 million. That will leave you with $990,000. That's how much more you need to save. If you have 10 years to save it, divide $990,000 by 10. That will leave you with $99,000 per year that you need to save. Or if you have 20 years to save it, divide $990,000 by 20. That will leave you with $49,500 per year that you need to save. If you determine that you need to save more money than you can comfortably save without compromising your lifestyle, then you're going to have to find ways to cut back on your expenses. You may need to delay retirement. You may need to work longer than you planned on working. You may need to take a part-time job later in life. You may need to find other ways to make extra income. You're going to have to do whatever it takes to reach your goal. So now you have a rough idea of how much you need to save, how much you're currently saving, how much you need to invest, how much you need to work. So now you can create a plan. You can create a plan on how to reach your goals. So there are many different ways to save and invest money. You can look at your bank account. Maybe you can cut back on your expenses a little bit and put a little bit more towards your retirement. Or you can look at your investments. Maybe you can sell some of your investments and put that money towards your retirement. Or maybe you can buy rental property. Maybe you can start a side hustle. Maybe you can get a second job. Maybe you can do freelance work. Maybe you can do consulting. Maybe you can do odd jobs. Maybe you can mow lawns. There are so many different ways to make extra income. I think the biggest thing here is that you need to be committed to your goals. You need to be willing to make sacrifices now in order to enjoy your retirement later. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication. But if you're truly committed to your goals, if you really want to retire, you'll do whatever it takes. So I hope this helps. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next video.